What's going on, guys? You're watching Degreeless Engineering, a channel where we engineer using experience. This episode we're talking about lightsabers. Halloween's coming up and I use it as a perfect excuse to buy a couple of very realistic dueling lightsabers from Saber Masters. The wife and I and our daughter are going to dress up as Jedis for Halloween. She's 2 years old. It's going to be super cute. She's got her own lightsaber as well, but I started having issues with my Saber Masters lightsaber pretty early on, and I think my feedback might help a few people out there. So I wanted to do a quick video to just show you what you could do to resolve the issue. So if you have this issue here, crackling sound, the audio is not clear, it's inconsistent, popping, this is what's going on. So if you unscrew this here, there's a small speaker in the end here. If you push on the speaker or if you mash, pretty much if you mash on it, it can damage it, so don't press on it. What you can do in the interim is take a piece of foam. So it sounds like this now, terrible, but there's a piece of foam, and this is just like to get you by. If the holiday's coming up and you don't have a replacement speaker or a replacement sword, which by the way, Saber Masters did finally reach out, took them a little while to tell me that they are sending me a replacement. However, your boy went ahead and ordered a new speaker from the Smuggler's Outpost. I believe this is a 24mm speaker with the connector built in. So if you get a Saber Masters lightsaber, instead of having to solder the wires on yourself, it comes pre-soldered with the wiring that you need. Plus, they actually include a, I don't know if you could see that, a spare wire, which is really nice of them. But they are on Etsy. Smuggler's Outpost, I'll put a link in the bottom. Don't know if this is going to work right away. Hopefully it does. But that foam typically will apply just enough pressure to make the speaker work. And it didn't work. So, need a bigger piece of foam. Just take some finagling. We grab some more foam. So you want it just slightly longer than the threads there. You'll notice if it's applying pressure as you're screwing it on, you can turn it on and you'll be able to tell right away. It just pushes the speaker cone just enough. See how it gets louder as I loosen it? Those are compressing the cone. So you kind of have to play with it a little bit, get that length just right. And again, this is not a permanent fix, this is temporary. And you want the foam to be kind of small so it sits in the center of the cone so the sound can travel around it. But so far it seems to work for me. This was going to be my temporary solution until my new sword came in, or speaker, but the speaker did show up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. There you go. Pretty simple, quick fix if you don't feel like, or you don't have the time for the holiday to fix it. So I'm going to try to post this video up before Halloween. Hopefully it can help out a few people. These things are sick though. But let's go ahead and change that speaker out. So they ship, Smuggler's Outpost ships in this little fancy little plastic container, I guess to keep everything nice and clean and safe. Little piece of foam in there, and the speaker is supposed to be a direct replacement, and from what I hear it's actually an upgrade, so it makes it sound a little bit better. I want to say with the connector wire and everything soldered in, that's like 22 bucks shipped or something like that. It wasn't very much. I think it's well worth it.
Double agent.
Because if you have to buy a whole new hilt, or even the module,
Power off.
the, what do they call this? Motion module. They're like $80, $90 for a decent one. And honestly, I don't want to spend any more money on essentially what is a toy to me. May not be a toy to other people. I feel like some hobbyists out there are really hardcore with these things, but honestly, it's just going to be me, my daughter, my wife trying to beat the shit out of each other with lightsabers on occasion. So not a huge deal to me, but maybe to somebody out there, if you want to buy a better motion controller. I will say also, don't buy the cheap lightsabers from Amazon. I bought one of those for my daughter. Looks almost identical, but the sound is terrible. The battery is half the size, so you're not going to get as much. Pretty easy to take out. A couple of screws, this thing comes right out. Flip it over, little screw there, and a little screw there. Take those out, this comes apart. Then the speaker is just sitting in there, usually held in with a small amount of glue. Pop this apart, make this video as quick as possible. So that comes apart, just like that. Make sure it's powered off, of course. There was something online I found. They said you can do a reset on these, and I did that. Disconnected the battery, and it seemed to work for a little bit. I think it was a fluke because the speaker did the same thing. So if you look at the difference, this is the OEM. This is the aftermarket. Driver looks a little bit beefier on the new one. Overall, cone is black on this one. This one's silver. I don't know if that's going to make a difference, but we're going to find out because I remember what this one sounds like. You guys heard pretty much what it sounds like. Okay, everything seems to fit well, but I am going to give these wires a little twist so that they're tucked in there a little bit better. You guys can see that or not. Let's give you a little downturn here. And it's a specific type of connector. I think on the options on Etsy, it's like the third one down. But if you're not sure which one it is, just Google the name of it that they have on the actual page, and it'll show you a picture of what it looks like. Forget the exact name of it. Maybe it says Albert Flores. He is the co-founder. Smuggler's Outpost. Pretty cool. Pretty cool packaging. Give you a sticker. Pretty neat. A little bit of Imperial and Rebel fandom going on there. Alright, so it's in. Let's get everything put back together. This is the tricky part, making sure everything's lined up correctly, nothing's bulging. It looks pretty decent. We'll send it. So, again, most of my channel is a lot of 3D printing stuff, so this is kind of different from what I normally do, but still fun. Lightsabers are cool. Interesting to see how the electronics are shoehorned inside of the hilt. Got a lot of technology in these things, and hopefully one day they'll have real lightsabers. There are a couple of really cool videos out there of lightsabers that people have made. Basically are shooting plasma, real plasma out of them. Of course, you have to have some kind of fuel source on your back, which is not realistic, but still pretty cool. Recommend checking those videos out. So what do you guys think about the Ahsoka show? Ahsoka, I think that's how you say it. It's alright. It's definitely more mature than a lot of the other shows that they've been putting out. Did not like Boba Fett. Mandalorian was really cool. I like that. The past few movies have been pretty decent too. Yeah, there's a couple of screws on the back here. This one is what holds the actual, this bottom screw closest to the battery is what holds the actual module in place. Then you have this really long set screw that goes through, and its only job is to push the power button module or board basically up into this opening here. So once you loosen that set screw on the back, you push this button through, just push it in, it slides in, then you can slide this out, assuming you have this screw out as well. So remove these two screws on the back, push this button in, and it slides right out. And don't tighten the hell out of them when you put it back together because you could damage something. It just needs to be tight enough. Okay, well, I'm just gonna, for much more snug fit, Maybe I didn't put something together correctly.
Power on.
Whoa. Yeah, it's definitely louder. I'm impressed.
Color change.
What color do you want? Smuggler's Outpost. Thanks, you guys got me out of a bind. Saber Masters. Shit happens, I guess. The other sword is doing just fine. Just this one was giving me issues. Of course, mine is going to have the issues. They said they're sending me another one. I haven't seen it yet. Haven't gotten any shipping notifications. I'm just going to take their word for it. Sounds like they're sending me a full replacement. I don't know if they're going to expect this one in return. If they are, I'm taking my speaker back out and putting theirs back in. But overall, electronics are of a good design. Battery lasts, 3 hours, I think, with just normal use. And yeah, there it is. Speaker replacement. And also, if you just want to do something in a pinch, stick a piece of foam in there, applying just enough pressure to the cone. Not too much. If it applies too much, it'll get really quiet, could cause more damage. But again, this is Degreeless Engineering, a channel where we engineer using experience. And hopefully you guys experience something new today. Thanks for watching.